Hello friends and welcome to my channel Iballdesigningdeveloper. Like you all know that previously we have started a new C++ series, and in that series we have covered up many of the videos, and I hope you understand all the videos which we have covered up yet. Like from the previous video we have started like function series, like we were learning about functions in C++. We have learned that what are functions, and after that video I have also told you in previous video that what are function parameters, and I hope you understand all the things which we have learned in function video and which we have learned in function parameters video. I have also told you that if you are working with functions, what is the thing which is different in functions parameter. So that was the thing which we have learned yet. So today in this video I will be telling you that what are default parameters, because obviously we have learned about functions and we have also learned about functions parameter. So now in this video I will be telling you that what are default parameters, like we use function parameters. So what is the difference between functions parameter and default parameters, which we will be learning in this video. So I hope you'll be enjoying this video from start, in which we will be learning about default parameters in C++. So if you understand this video and if you enjoy this tutorial here, so remember to hit a like to this video, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like that, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing hit notification bell as well, so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I will be uploading on this channel. So now what we are waiting for, let's move to computer screen and let's get started. So now here we are on the computer screen, and like I've told you in the start that today I will be telling you about default parameters, that we have learned about function parameters as well, and we have also learned about functions. So like that, now we have to understand what are default parameters if we are using. So if we talk about default parameter value, so you can also use a default parameter value by using the equal sign, which is this one. And if we call the function without an argument, it uses the default value Norway. Example, like if I'm calling a function without any argument, it will be using a default value, and like this is the value, or this is the example you can say, which I have written here. And in this example I have written some tags here, and in some tags I have added a values, like I have added Sweden here, then another country name India, then the third country name which I have added is USA. But in the third my function which I have called, I have written nothing in this value. But why I have done that? Because the value which I have written in my default parameter is Norway. So I want that Norway should be printed in this third my function value which I have called here in this main function. So now if I move down, you can just see it is saying me that a parameter with a default value is often known as an optional parameter. From the example above, country is an optional parameter and Norway is the default value. Like if I'm using a parameter with a default value, it will be known as a optional parameter. And like from the example which we have seen here, it is a country which is an optional parameter. The country which we are using here, it is called as an optional parameter, and the Norway which we have written here in the parameter, it will be called as a default parameter or default value. Now what I'm going to do is I'll be just moving on to my text IDE here, which is Replit. Like you all know that previously on when we were just working on C++, so we were using the same IDE Replit. So I'll be just opening my IDE here, and I'll be changing the name. I'll be writing here default parameter, and then I will be now pressing enter here to save my file. I'll be pressing OK, and then you can just see the file has been just saved with the different title which I have changed here to default parameters now. And now just it will be taking some time to reload all the things, and then when it will be just coming, we need to add some codes so that we can work with these default parameters here. Now what I'm going to do is I'll be adding this thing, and I'll be writing here include IOStream. And why I'm adding this include IOStream, because you all know that when we are starting with C++, so these are the starting codes which we have to add here. Now I will be not adding init main here, because first of all I need to paste the like value which we have seen here. So I will be moving on to this file, and then after moving here I will be just copying this example now, and after copying this example I will be just moving on to Google and I'll be pasting it. So you can just see these are the things which we have defined, and now if I run this, so you can just see we are getting four values. First we are getting Sweden, second we are getting India, and the third value which we are getting is Norway. Why we are getting the Norway value? Because we have written this Norway in a parameter, and this is not a normal parameter which we are using. This is called as default parameter, because now this Norway is a value which we have written defaultly, and that's why this Norway value or this Norway country value will be count as a default value in the parameters, which is the country as well which we have used, but it will be not called as a you can say default string here. It will be called as a default you can say variable. So that's why we have used this country here, and then after using this country we have used a default parameter value which is Norway written. Now the three values which we have added here, like three country names which we have added, Sweden, India and USA, these are the values which we have normally called in my function here. But the third value, which is of Norway, the default parameter value, we have not called this value in my function, but still we are getting the output as this thing. But why we are getting the output? Because we have defined country with the count. If I not define country here, and normally then if I print here, so this third function will be not printed anything. Like if I remove this count country and if I run it again like this, so now you can just see we are getting nothing in the output because now we are not printing anything. That's why we are not getting anything printed in the output. Now if I do one thing, if I write function, my function simply like this, then if I just save it and if I run, so again you will be getting nothing in the output, or you will be getting an error. And error is coming because we are using my function, like we are calling it again, but we don't need to do that because obviously we are just calling the function in init main. So why we are printing this same thing here again? So that's why it is giving me an error. So this is the thing which you can do to check that your my function is calling correctly or not. So it is calling the function correctly, and that's why the output we are getting is correctly. Now I will be removing this function here again like this, and then I'll be saving the file and I'll be running it again. If I do this thing and again we are getting nothing because now we are using this parameter value. If I remove this parameter value here and then if I run normally here again, you can just see again we are getting an error. Why we are getting an error? Because in my function we have not written anything in the parameter. That's why when we are using this same thing with like empty parameter, so we are getting an error, and we don't need to do that because obviously we are writing a default parameter value, so we don't need to write this value again. And now here I will be writing country because with a string value I am writing my string name as country. That's why I will be using the same value of country so that I can get this default parameter value printed in my output. If I run it again, so you can just see now the 4 country names are coming here and we are getting our output successfully running. So I hope you understand that how we are using default parameters here in C++ and how we are getting a different output when we are using the same thing again and again. So I hope you understand that how we are using it, and if you want to use, so how you can do that as well. So if you understand this video about default parameters from start, so remember to hit a like to this video. And if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like that, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing hit notification bell as well so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I will be uploading in future. So we have learned about function parameters as well, but the thing different in default parameter is that we are using a string, and with a string we are using a string name as well. Like you can give any of the name of your string, but obviously we are writing a country name, so that's why I'm just giving my string name as country. But if you're writing any first name, any last name, so you can write your string name as first name, last name as well, or in short as well, you can write f name or you can write L name, which means that first name, last name. That's the thing. You can use the small letters or you can use the small forms as well of any word so that you can get the string name correctly, and the default parameter value which you are writing in that string will be also printed right in the output. So that's the thing, like that's the way you can use this parameter here in C++. So if you understand this video and if you understand about default parameters here, so just remember to share this video as well so more people can learn that. If they want to learn about different parameters here in C++, how they can learn and how they can apply these parameters here in C++. So just I'll be meeting you in next tutorial here of C++ or in next project of any other languages. So for today, goodbye.